Incredible, Sanjay. The two young lads just did not panic. We've seen it all before. We shouldn't be amazed by it. We've seen it throughout the series and in previous series. They got up to 8.2 and over, and they just did not panic. You could see even in the running between the wickets, and even with the injury to Yuvraj, there was no signs in their faces or their body language like, oh my God, what are we going to do here? And I'm sure a lot of Indian spectators were thinking, 8.2, come on, get on with it, boys. But they've won with 3 overs to spare. And the batting of Yuvraj and Dhoni, promoted to number 4. You know, a year or two ago, someone said Mahendra Dhoni is going to go and win a game at number 4 for India with all their batting superstars is incredible. And the way they finish things off, 2 finishers. We've seen all this before. You know, 75 for 1, he's promoted to number 3. His batting, they're running between the wickets, 2 young lads. I mean, he's going to be missed, Yuvraj, with this injury, with England coming up in 10 days' time. That's a serious concern, but in this game and this series, he has almost been as close to perfection as you'll find Yuvraj Singh. Almost. He's been helped by a very one-paced Pakistan attack. No mystery leg spinner, nothing, but don't take anything away from these two. And Dhoni, when he wants to hit a 6 or a 4, he hits it.
Well, Imran, you know, there's something with opposition captain when they're looking at a team chasing a target. You sense sometimes panic coming into the batsman. You can sense it, the nervousness in the batsman, and then you take heart in that. Then you sort of try and capitalize on it. Just watching Yuvraj Singh and Dhoni in that chase. After Dravid left, they needed to get 8 runs and over for almost 20 overs. But there was nothing of that kind. That body language was so relaxed.
Well, I mean, it's most impressive. This win, the ease with which India won, it augurs very well for Indian cricket. It's an embarrassment for Pakistan. Because 8 runs and over, you chase in almost the last 20 overs and then walk it.
3 overs to spare.
You know, I mean, as I said, it's a great win for India. You know, the convincing way they have won. India is now in a perfect state of mind to receive England. I think, you know, Indian team is going to, not just in one-day cricket, I think they'll start favourites in one-day matches. I think in test matches they're going to cause them problems because just they're oozing with confidence, the Indian players. The question remains, what happened to Pakistan? Here's a team which I can be accused of being patriotic when I say that Pakistan has access to one of the, in world cricket now, the pool of talent Pakistan has got, especially in bowling. I mean, it should be challenging Australia, but it's exactly what Ian Chappell said. Ian Chappell in his comments has recently said, Pakistan is an emerging team which should now challenge India and the access to bowling talent it has. So the question remains, what happened to Pakistan? It's just the 4 defeats in a row, and each one more convincing than the other defeat. And they just look, you know, if you looked at them today, their strategy was not only wrong, they were demoralized, there was no innovation, their batting order, they kept repeating the same mistakes, and we can go on about the batting order a bit later on, but not just the strategy, but in the end, they've just lost all fight. They just gave up. I mean, even when it was 8 and over, it's Pakistan that looked panicked. Indian batsmen looked completely in control. I mean, that was the most disturbing thing.
Nasir, who do you think could be held responsible? I mean, if you have to hold somebody responsible, was it just the way the Indians batted, or did Pakistan also contribute to their defeat?
You have to give credit where it's due. India now have a formula. They're going to chase. They have exciting, informed players. That's where the credit is. Take nothing away from India. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Especially without Tendulkar and Sehwag. Young lads doing it. Indians and Indian supporters must be very proud. But the Pakistan team throughout this one-day series have to have a look at themselves. And also their selectors, because I don't believe they've read conditions very well. Earlier on in the games, where sometimes they won the toss and batted, I think in the 2nd or 3rd one-dayer, when they should have bowled, when it swung around. Then they continued with pinch hitters, sending up the order, Afridi to hit when it was swinging around. Then in this game, Karachi on a hot pitch, which looked like it could take a little bit of spin, we saw power bowl, 10 overs, 1 for 49, which is very good figures in these. When you're under 5 and over, that's excellent. Pakistan didn't play a spinner, a front-line spinner, and someone must be held accountable for that, because, I mean, Abdul Qadir must be sitting back somewhere and thinking, Where is leg spin in Pakistan? You know, Saklain Mushtaq Ahmed. Where is our leg spinner? We're having almost like England. That attack today from Pakistan looked like an England attack. Medium paces and no leg spinner. You know, what is wrong with Danish Canaria? Even as a super sub, when all the medium pace gets hit out the apart, you know, come on Yuvraj, I'll bowl you some leg spinners, some googlies. Come on, Dhoni.